OCLionsFan.com and OC Lions Fan TV. We're here with a brand new edition, guys. I hope you're excited about it. We are going to do a fantasy outlook for weekly. So I know that we're in week 20 right now. So a little late start to this season, but hopefully in the long term, this will be something great for you guys. I don't know any of the other, bloggers or anybody really who talks about fantasy MLS in any extensive. We have Derek with us. He was on Match Preview last week, and we just started talking about the fan channel. And I thought of this idea, and he was all about it. So I'm going to turn the floor over to him. He is now the Fan TV resident expert on MLS fantasy. You will get all your fantasy information from him. Derek, the floor is yours, my friend.
Thank you, Sam. Well, welcome to week 20 of MLS Fantasy. We're nearing the end of the season so far. Last week, I ended up finishing with 61 points. Not exactly what I was hoping for. I had Jorge Villafana not play. Eric Zavaleta only played 15 minutes in the game. And for whatever odd reason, I didn't captain Jovinko, who went off, as you all know. I've seen anything from about 60 points to 90 points. So as long as you're above average, you're good. Let's move on. We do have a DGW this week. Chicago and Columbus play each other twice this week. Not exactly the greatest DGW. If you're looking for main options out there, you should have Kai Kamara and Ethan Finley on your team. Columbus players. I mean, they run their offense. I'm hoping for 10 points for them. So if you can get 10 points from them, you're fine. Most people capture they're one or the other. If you're looking for other options, Federico Higuain, he's only owned by about 2% of MLS Fantasy. He should be a good option. Last DGW, he got, I think, 12 points. Other options include Harry Shitz, and Sean Maloney will not play Wednesday night. And Eric Garrett, who's only about $5 for those of you looking for budget defense. Matt Polster as well, but that's one you will have to look at. Moving on. Captain's picks for this week. Hopefully. David Villa is a good option. They're playing New England, who has been an absolute flaming dumpster fire lately. Lost New York 4-1 at the weekend. And New York's he's gotten 10 points quite a bit lately. If you can captain him, that'd be a good option to look forward to. So, I'm not sure how you can have a guy who just scored 20 points not in your captain's options. If you don't have him, I'm not sure what you're doing. I mean, I saw this earlier, the top 100 players in MLS Fantasy, 94 of them have Jovinko on their squad. So if you don't have him, I'm not sure what to tell you. He's at $12.50, easily the highest player in MLS Fantasy. Next is Benny Feilhaber. I actually captained him last week. He didn't have a good game. It was only 1-0 against Vancouver. I'm looking him to bounce back at home against Montreal, who is not a good road team. Not at all. Then, of course, there's Ethan Finley and Kai Kamara, like I mentioned earlier. They're going to have a home-and-home with Chicago this week. Ethan Finley is actually projected for 17 points, but from what I've noticed, projections don't mean a damn thing until you play the game. Differential picks. You have Federico Higuain, like I said earlier, is only owned by about 2% of MLS Fantasy. He's about $10.50, about the same price as David Villa. Then you have Lloyd Sam. I don't like picking against Orlando, but no Luke Bowden. We played a terrible game last night.
Don't know how healthy Colin is.
We
don't know how healthy Colin is.
Colin is as well. I mean, quite frankly, I don't know who the hell we're going to play on Saturday. So I'm picking Lloyd Sam. Bradley Wright Phillips as well, but he's not a differential at all. He's owned by at least 15%. And A low-budget defender people might look at this week is Kevin Ellis of SKC. Kansas City's been playing out of their mind. They shut out Vancouver in Vancouver on yesterday, actually. 1-0, like I said. And they're playing Montreal at home. I'm not sure how much more you can ask for there. Goalkeepers, if you have Bill Hamid on your team, you need to drop him now. It was announced earlier today that he's out 4 to 6 weeks with a hand injury. So if you're looking for other options, David Bingham, David Osted, your normal category type players. But if you're looking for a lower price player, Tim Melia, or Melia, however you say his name, of SKC, $5, one of the cheapest starting goalkeepers out there. He's only owned by 3%. He's pretty good lately. Oh, and that Montreal matchup again? Yeah, pretty good. Defense, if you're looking to go clean sheet hunting, I've said this about 40 times already. Kansas City's the team to go for this week. Seattle has a good shot at home against Colorado. We all know how bad Colorado is. And for those of you who have Luke Bowden, being Orlando City, I know a lot of people have Luke Bowden. You're going to have to replace him this week for that red card. If you have money, look at a player like Matt Miazga. He plays for the Red Bulls. He's about 5.7 and produces a lot higher than that. He's had pretty good points lately. Donnie Toya, Montreal, is about the same. He's about 4.9, I think. Or if you're looking for a double game week option, Eric Gehrig of Chicago. Just make sure he starts that first game on Wednesday. Transfers will stop that at the beginning of the Columbus-Chicago game. So if Eric Gehrig starts, he's good for about 6 or 7 points this week. Midfield, like I said, Lloyd Sam earlier. We don't know who's going to play on the left for Orlando this week. Lloyd Sam plays on the right wing for New York. And I'm expecting a good game for him this week. Hopefully we win still. Christian Maidana of Philadelphia. He's playing Toronto this week. And for anyone who saw Toronto, New York, both of those teams are absolute garbage defensively. Absolute pure garbage. And anytime you have a chance to get a player playing against them, you do it. Maidana is, I think, about $9 on MLS Fantasy. He is a good option this week. They do play Toronto up in Toronto. I'm hopeful for a goal. He should get at least an assist. CJ Sapong's also playing well with them. And then you got Juninho, who is under the radar, been on fire for LA. LA at home has been fantastic lately. I mean, they decimated Portland 5-1. They beat Toronto 4-0 at home. This team can score goals at home. They got Steven Gerrard. It's only going to help. Juninho is about $8 for those of you who'd like him this week. Going back to the midfield, we had the 3 new designated player midfields, Pirlo, Lampard, and Gerrard. I'm avoiding all 3. Why? Look at all designated players when they come into MLS. It's going to take an adjustment period for these guys. They showed this stat during the Toronto game this week. They don't perform well in the mid-season. And if you're buying a player for $10+, they better well perform. Out of the 3, I feel Gerrard probably has the best chance to perform. But for that price point, there's Benny Foulhaber, there's Diego Valeri, there's Mauro Diaz, there's Fabian Castillo. You don't need the DP players. Go get the players who are actually producing. And lastly, for the forwards this week, I already mentioned Kai Kamara. I already mentioned David Villa against New England. I love Dom Dwyer and Christian Nemeth this week for Kansas City. Montreal can't seem to keep the ball out of the net when they're away from home. Christian Nemeth, he had an assist. He had an assist on Kevin Ellis's goal this week. So he's been on fire lately. He had a game a few weeks ago where he had like 2 goals, I think. Dwyer's about $10.50. Nemeth is less than 10, depending on how much money you have. And then Federico Higuain. Other than that, good luck. If you have any punt plays, any differentials, let me know. I'm at Rays1299 on Twitter. And that's all I got for y'all this week.
All right. Well, thank you, Derek. And guys, let us know how you like this little fantasy outlook for the week. Derek, was working hard getting information and stats in line for you guys so he can portray some accurate information. I personally appreciate it. I don't play fantasy MLS, so to have an in-house expert is awesome. I hope you guys enjoy it. If you have any questions, you can get Derek, like he said, on Twitter at Rays1299.
I'm on all the time.
What?
I'm on there all the time, people.
All right. So there, from the sounds of it, I'll answer your questions immediately. If you can't get Derek, you can try me, and I'll just try to get Derek, for you, because I can't really answer your questions. If you ask me a fantasy MLS question, I'll be more than happy to give you a guess, but I really will not know. So thanks again to Derek. Derek, appreciate you over here. That's great of him to come on and do this for you guys. Let us know what you think. Let us know if you got any questions. We will have match preview on Wednesday. I know that there is the West Brom friendly. I personally will not be attending, but I have a very, very special guest for you as far as match preview goes this week. So keep an eye out for that. See you guys on Wednesday. Thanks again to Derek. Find him at Rays1299. All right. Thanks.